Hello everyone, and welcome on back to First Light. In last week's episode, we constructed the wonderful potions tower you can see behind me right over there at the very back of town, which I just love how that one turned out. And in today's episode, we are coming over here to this little patch of land I have been terraforming out between episodes, and we are going to be adding our first few builds to this new area of First Light. Now, this one here, I have been digging out quite the valley. I have used a lot of dirt over the course of this project. There are all my dirt barrels down there. A lot of digging, a lot of replacing. But I thought I would bring you guys in, show you what I currently have here in terms of the overall landscape of the area, and start mapping out some of our plan for this new kind of district of the town. Now, the entire theme and concept here is a big valley of wheat, the valley of gold, if you will. Now, coming in here, I just wanted to start laying out our core paths for this area. So I'm just running along. I'm not heavily mapping this out right now, but I am really thinking I want to bring one around through here so that I can wrap it along through and have it coming out this far end of the valley. Coming up here to the top of our terrain assessment scaffolding, and I like that path, but I don't quite like the curve of it. I think I want to smooth it out a bit more. Maybe have this one come in more here as opposed to out there, and bring this one across more and down more. Something smoother like that. Alright, and now I want to start bringing this other path coming from over here at the church down along this way, and then curving it in as well, so it's gonna head down here and meet up with the other path here in the lowest section of our little valley. Alright, quickly coming in here to the Hall of Rainbows, I'm thinking to map out some build ideas over here in the Valley of Gold. We grab some, oh, there's some overflow in our orange, okay. We grab some red, we grab some orange, and we grab some yellow for these ones. I think those colors are very suited to the Valley of Gold over here. And I think we start picking out some locations and sketching out some build concepts. Kind of unrelated, but while we're out here, I did just duck in and grab some purple wool as well. And I'm just gonna kind of ignore my barrel cluster right now, but I do get quite a lot of overflow from the Hall of Rainbows these days. So I have been thinking about just adding a few extra Hall of Rainbows theme wool silos in here. I'm just mapping that out, which would mean we would have a path kind of along here for access to these silos, maybe a few more wagons there. So that is that space there kind of filled in. I'm definitely gonna do some more thinking about this, but maybe we have a little bakery windmill combo thing over here. What I'm thinking up here on this hill, this is a pretty key part of this Valley of Gold, but like up here at the back of the valley, I really want to see a pretty big like main farmhouse. Okay, big farmhouse. Probably gonna end up doing it a bit longer, maybe even something like this, a bit more rectangular looking than square looking. That was a bit squarish for my taste. And I definitely want like a little cluster of builds centered around the farmhouse. So I'm thinking we definitely want like some more little workhouses for our farmers, maybe something just like this, and then another little one right here that is the same but crossways. Right, some little houses up on the hill, so it's like you have this little farmy area, this little farm ship situation. Maybe we even chuck in a little well or something up here. You could kind of have like a wagon or something here. And I also 100% want a little stable build or something, maybe something even just here, because they're definitely gonna need some horses out here. So I'm thinking an area where they can keep just a few of them to pull their wagons and for making trips into town and things from such a far away little farmy area. Maybe even a few little silos or something back here as well. Could even add a third little silo back here. We're gonna need a lot of area to store all the goods that will be getting produced out here at the valley. And I kind of wanted this up upper section of the back hill here to be the big area for all the workers and everything to stay out and look after the place. I'm really liking that. Maybe even a little like work shed or something out here as well for them to get a bunch of their tools and things from. I don't really know, I'm just kind of playing with concepts and things they might need out here at the moment. Maybe we grab some more red and we come over here. I'm definitely going to need more silos, but I have quite a few out that way. Maybe we do a pretty big like feature windmill up this way. So if we have a big wheat field here, we could come up right around here and have a windmill maybe here, like a 5 or 1 of 5. Something just like that, maybe even if you come into the windmill here, and then we could come around to the left of it with a little bit of pathing. Hang on, let me start mapping this one out. Something like that, bring those into each other. And then you can come around the side of the windmill as well. And over here we could have a little bit of a wagon bay, maybe a few more silos, maybe just something there like that. Even just like the one small silo could be really cute and complementary for the big windmill. Yeah, I think that's pretty nice. And then I think as well, I want something over this end, probably another windmill. Maybe something like this. We could do like a little baby windmill. It'll be adorable. And then I'll chop down this tree. It definitely cannot stay there. I'll probably end up bringing this bit of land out a bit more and meeting it into the bigger hill I'm building the farmstead on. So then we've got this little baby windmill here and probably just another like wagon or something parked up next to it. That's fine. That's cute. That's fun. Alright, so coming up here and assessing what we've been laying out, I am kind of liking it. There's definitely a few things I would change. I think having this kind of little extension to this set of builds is going to be a really cute, nice touch, and it will really help me with storage for the amount of wool output I'm getting at the Hall of Rainbows at this point. I'm thinking this build here, I kind of want to move back and up onto the hill a little more, so it's something like that. And this whole section, I really like it. I like how busy and like full it feels, but I think I want it more here. Like I want the central farmhouse more here. But otherwise, I am quite liking this one. It's going to be very busy, a lot of wheat. I'm really hoping it looks good. I'm going to try. I haven't done anything quite like this before. But I think in today's episode, we are going to kind of tackle this area here. I'd like to try and do our little bakery windmill combo build. And I've done some more thinking about it, and maybe throwing in our little wool silos here might be a good move, because then I can kind of show you what a more finalized area of this Valley of Gold will look like by the end of the episode. It'll be a great way for me to kind of test out the palette and look of the whole area. So I think I do a little more terraforming for a better place to put this build, and we start creating something here. Alrighty, I have moved this one here up onto this higher section of hill. I kind of terraformed and brought out this little segment of the hill so I could pop this build right up here, and I've started mapping it out. But I'm thinking right here we have a bit of a windmill connected into the main bakery building. And then over here on the left, I'm thinking of having our chimney and little, bread cooking area with maybe a little front shop piece where people can come up to purchase their goods from outside the bakery itself. So coming in here, I think we just start pillaring this one up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on the 5th one, doing what we usually do and bringing across our crossbeam. And now that we have this kind of little frame happening, I am thinking we start bringing in the frame of our roof and coming back here to have a look at our basic frame. And I actually really like that. I was kind of worried it'd look a bit weird in that position, but I think that is actually the perfect spot for this build. And then we'll be able to run down the little path in amongst the wheat fields up to our wonderful bakery here on the hill. I think this is going to be really cute, so I think we launch straight into blocking this one out. Okay, a lot of our blocking out is now done, as you can kind of see from here, but I thought I would bring you guys in for this final little stage of blocking out this build. I thought a wonderful keystone feature of a lot of the builds here in the valley would be hay bale roofs, because of course the whole thing is wheat themed. I think hay bale roofs actually look super duper cute, and I thought I would bring you guys in here just to especially showcase this particular feature of the build as I am placing in some of our hay bales for this roof. And the last of our hay bales in, let's look at the blocking out of this one. There we are, you can see my scaffolding up the back there, but that is kind of what I'm thinking for this little bakery build. I actually really like that. I think the yellow is currently a bit much, but because obviously this is just the blocking out stage, I'm gonna go back through, detail it. I think I'm gonna break it up a little bit, and it is looking super duper cute. I am really liking this one. But before I get too carried away and get right into detailing and texturing this one up, I think we do a bit more groundwork over here, so when I do the big reveal, we can reveal that as well as a nice shaders moment with at least one wheat field grown in. And I think we actually just get straight into tackling these little wool silos. Okay, so I have been sorting out my color palette for these silos, which is basically just going to be the same palette we used over there in our wool farm. And I am bringing up some spruce logs and spruce planks. I'm thinking of something just like this. These are significantly bigger than our silos over at the stables area, which are the same silo design I plan to use out here in the valley. And I really wanted to make sure these silos here were distinctly owned by our wool corporation, our fancy expensive people. You know, they're bigger, they're sturdier, they're a lot less run down. So that is the vibe we are trying to capture with these ones today. Now coming in here to bring these ones up, I'm not really sure how tall I want them to be because they are a bit thicker than my other silo design that I have used in the past. So I'm thinking I start with the same 12 that the other ones are and then maybe bring it up to 14. And I think I'll go all the way around and just bring up the same pattern that I have used on the base here. And just finishing bringing these ones up, let's go see what we think of this height here. Gosh, I really don't know. I kind of want them a little taller, but also it'll be at a point where they're kind of overpowering the Hall of Rainbows back there, which I don't think is what I want. I really want to make sure the Hall of Rainbows kind of stays the center point of this set of builds. You know, I might keep it for now. I might do up the other one. I might detail them out and see if I can sell myself on it. And that is basically the finished design, at least idea I had for these silos, but I'm still just really not sure. I like it, but I don't know if I like it enough to have the two really big ones right here next to the Hall of Rainbows. What I might even do is tear down this one, convert this space into a bit more wagon space, and just have this second one here fully built up and done up, so that I think maybe the two of them would be a bit much. I don't want to lose the side profile of the Hall of Rainbows, so I think I scrap having the two silos and I just build up the one here. I think that'll be my plan for these ones, which I can detail them out later. The last thing I want to establish before I get stuck into finishing up this area is I don't know what kind of border I want to use for my wheat fields. So I will bring you back in when I'm set up to try some things out. When I'm making big decisions, like something that will genuinely change the atmosphere of this entire valley project I've got going on here, I think it can be really great to make little sample palettes for yourself of the concepts you're trying to work with within your build. So what I'm doing here is I'm just going to start building in a few tiny little wheat fields and just bordering them with different things to see what I enjoy the most out here in the valley. And I've got a bunch of little sample fields built up here, and I think I have made my decision. I tried out this stone one here where it was just going to be a bit rubbly, a bit of stone. I think it is a really cute field edge design, but I don't think it's going to work here in the Valley of Gold. It's too structured. And coming along around here, obviously we did just do this very, very classic standardized spruce fence, spruce gate combo. And over here as well, we just threw together the classic as well spruce fence with a little splash of the oak leaves, which I think is a really, really cute one. And I was tempted to try and use it, but I do think it's not going to work here either, because this is the Valley of Gold. It's not the Valley of Green and Gold, which is what it would look like if I were to include this around all the fields. It'd be too much of the green. It'd bring too much color and life into an area that I don't want to have it. And I think it's something really important to note coming around here as well. I love this field design. I think it's a super, super cute one, but I don't know that it's what I'm going to use. I don't think it is right for the Valley of Gold. And that is why I'm deciding on this really, really simple field design. I could use something a lot more fun and extravagant like that, but it would change the entire atmosphere and feel of this area, and I don't want it to feel fancy. You know, I want it to feel like quite a simple, cobbled together, very fundamental and expandable Wheat Valley area. So I'm going with this design here, but I did just want to try something because, as I mentioned, everyone has seen just a spruce fence around a field before. So I was gonna see if I thought I could throw in a splash of the oak. If I could do what I like to do and just mix it up a little bit, make it a little bit more unique, interesting, fun to look at. So bringing this all through here, maybe we can make something just a little bit more unique. And actually, yeah, I really like that. Just a splash of it, still staying majority spruce, but just bringing in that little bit of something different, something a bit extra, a bit more variation. I think I'm going to really, really like that one. And that is kind of the bulk of our decision making here for this little segment of the valley I'm trying to cover here in today's episode. So I'm going to be tearing down that silo, building up, I think basically the same thing, but just that other spot for it, and just doing a little wagon bay there again for further expansion of our wool factory area, building a few wheat fields out this way, and of course finishing up and detailing our wonderful little bakery windmill build up here. I'm so excited to see this first portion of the valley finished. I have been thinking about this place for so long. I'm so excited. So stay tuned for the reveal. Alright everyone, I have been hard at work here for a significant number of hours. You can see a little bit of today's episode's work there in the background. Are you ready for the full reveal of these builds? Here it is. We've got a wonderful sunrise coming in behind our little windmill bakery and a mass of sprawling wheat fields here, which took me significantly longer than I expected them to, but I am just in love with how this has turned out. I am so happy finally seeing part of our Valley of Gold come together. I have been planning and thinking about just this massive wheat field out back for so long. I think this looks wonderful. I brought a bunch more wool sprawl in through here to match up with our new and improved Hall of Rainbows Corporation silo, which I've also done up to actually be really useful for me. And over here we've just got a few more wool wagons so that the company is able to put out more product more regularly, of course. And the changes I made to this one, nothing too fancy. Height remained the same, which is actually 13 tall. We brought in our texturing on that stone border with the stone andesite and mossy cobble mixed in with our cobble. And one of the things I really love is this little bit of spruce detail up top where we've got the stairs, the trapdoors, the slabs, because I feel that really gives it the effect of being a richer and more elegant silo than any other silo anywhere else in this world. Which, speaking of that, there is another big silo up there that you may have noticed previously. That is actually one of my friend Perry's silos. So she owns that house there and that there, and she also owns that silo. I did the little roof, but that is about it. Also, just over here, I've brought this path this way, but not worried too much about bringing it further because I am planning a little bridge over this section of water when I start building up this whole other area over here that I'm not gonna spoil anything of, but I have a bunch of ideas for out that way and I'm super duper excited. And before we get to the main build, of course, there are just a few details I would love to point out with these little wheat fields here. As you can see, we have a bunch of hay bales stacked up in them, which I absolutely love. I think it's really going to help bring in the Valley of Gold theme with this bright yellow, the little splash of the yellow carpet. And as well, just to break up the field a bit more, I have scattered in, we have a bunch of trapdoor lights all the way throughout, just so it's nowhere near as dangerous here at night. We have segments of these little steps all over the field so that I'm not destroying crops going up and down. It's not everywhere, and I definitely have destroyed a few crops, but I really enjoy having those there. These are our water source blocks, any slabs kind of in among the field. And of course, as you saw, there is also just a little bit of coarse dirt scattered all the way throughout, so it doesn't have a very, hang on, let me just fly up and show you. So it looks something like this from above, which I think is really, really cute. Let's zoom in on back around here. Oh, I just love this. I'm so happy that finally we have an entire segment here of the Valley of Gold basically done. That's so exciting. I'm so excited to keep going through working on the next few segments over here, but there are also so many other projects in town I'm excited for, so whatever I decide to do, I decide to do. And here we have our wonderful little windmill bakery build, which I think turned out so cute. I did a bit of stone texturing here, which I brought some stone brick and some andesite into our cobble face, and a little bit of cracked stone brick as well. And I did do a bunch of extra details on the blade itself. I mixed in a tiny bit of spruce trapdoor with our oak trapdoor. We've got a bunch of buttons and just extra spruce trapdoor on the opposing edge to the blade, just to kind of bring that detail in a tiny bit more, just like that, which I really like. And coming in over here, of course, we've just got a few cakes, and in there is someone I am so excited for you to meet. This is Bobby. Bobby is our little baker out here, Bobby the baker. I just think that's so cute. And Bobby the baker is just our villager out here in our wonderful little bakery, which I think is super cute. I'm so excited to level her all the way up so I can buy golden carrots and stuff out here. It'll make a great stop to pick up food when I'm working in this area over here. And I did go a bit crazy with the item frames and the baked goods, but I think it's turned out really nice. It's very busy, but I think it's really cute. We've got some furnaces here for her to bake her bread and pumpkin pie, all the important goods she sells here. And we just have a little bit of extra storage for her. This is the singular emerald I got from selling her some wheat to lock in the trades, because I did re-roll her a bunch of times until I got wheat and bread. I was really determined to have Bobby, our little villager out here at the Valley of Gold, sell bread and buy wheat. And just upstairs, I made a little trapdoor roof, just for something a bit different for our little sleeping loft. And coming up here, it's nothing too fancy, it's just this little cozy piece. I love that I actually left quite a bit of this hay bale exposed, and of course tied it in with the yellow and orange of our beds up here. And we do have this tiny little window, which I think is absolutely adorable. When all of this is wheat, it's gonna be an absolutely wonderful view of just farmland sprawling for ages. Of course, a little wall clock, because there are beds and there must be a wall clock when there are beds. It simply has to be that way, and that is just our little sleeping loft out here. I just love this. I think it's super cute, very on theme. It is honestly exactly what I was planning for this place, and I'm actually really impressed with how the silo turned out. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to pull off a good silo for the Valley of Gold, which we didn't actually check out the interior. Gosh, I would have forgotten. Hang on, let me just quickly show you. We do have a tiny interior over here in the actual windmill segment, which does come out the back back here too. I might expand this little bit of hill here and bring out the dirt so I could put a little wagon up here, something to show that this windmill is in use and it's got quick access to the outside for goods. And I'm not really too sure how windmills work. I need to look into it a bit more, but I did just add these little turny things down the bottom and just kind of scatter some hay and things on the ground for now. It's totally subject to change, and I probably will change it at some point. I just hung a few lanterns up and of course brought in some stair and trapdoor action just to close off our roofs and make them our roofs and make them a bit more interesting, of course. And I just think it's really, really cute. Another beautiful sunrise out here at the Valley of Gold. Oh, and a burning zombie. It's part of the atmosphere. Oh my goodness. Of course there's a wandering trader way up there. Of course there is. Why would there not be? I do just really, really love how this valley has turned out. Alright. I'm gonna keep getting distracted by how pretty this is. Let's head on over to the silo and I'll quickly show you what I did there. So I was initially thinking a significantly more scattered internal storage for these than what I came up with, because I was planning to have 2 of them. But when I had to condense everything down to just the one, this is what I came up with. So I've separated this into what is actually 3 tiers, Hall of Rainbows Corporation owned, of course, and we've got 9 barrels for every single color of wool here in the silo, which I think is going to help a lot in that I am able to purchase shears to keep the Hall of Rainbows fully stocked, but I didn't have anywhere to put the ridiculous amount of wool I was getting output there, and now I do. Of course, on this floor, this is kind of our warm tones. We've got red, orange, yellow, lime green, cactus green, cyan, and coming on up here we have light blue, dark blue, purple, magenta, pink and brown in this upper section, which they are just a little bit decorated for the color scheme of the segment, which is another 6 lots. And I did this all up and I still had 4 types of wool that I didn't have a spot for, but I really liked having all the matching item frame colors. I found it really satisfying to look at. So I did dig down here as well, just to add our last 4, white, light gray, gray and black, as like a little basement of the less colorful wools. But now I have the perfect storage for everything coming out of the Hall of Rainbows, which I think is just absolutely wonderful. And I think that is about it for today's episode, everyone. I really, really love what I was able to do today. I love this kind of staple piece. We've got a lot of our foundational work done for the Valley of Gold here, which will make it a lot easier for me to blaze through the rest of it in future. I think this has been the perfect beginning for the rest of our wonderful Valley of Gold all the way out here. I did just pillar up a little on some dirt for that bit of a better view of everything we constructed today, because I really am so happy with it. And if you haven't already, don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what your favorite thing about today's episode was, which part of these builds was your favorite. Again, thank you so much for watching and coming along for the ride, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.